The most funny part about today's game is that they actually allowed this game to continue after 3-0. I have no idea what they were expecting. But the embarrassing part is this. We're talking about one of the best teams in the world. Let's get into the video. Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host, Sam, and we are back again with another one as we just witnessed a distraction, an embarrassment. I'm looking for the right words. A gargantuous, whatever the word I would think of. This was just too much, people. This was not what we really signed up for. This is not what we thought or expected when we said we are going to sit down and watch a PSG versus Real Madrid match, especially this new PSG. The whole entire world blamed Ancelotti for the disappointment of this Real Madrid team last season, and the PSG just showed the world that maybe it was not actually the manager. Maybe it was the team. So let's get into the video. Click the like button, subscribe to Connect, the best way you support us here as we are going to be doing. This is the match reaction of Real Madrid versus PSG. The game that finished 4-0 should have been 8, should have been 12. However goes you wanted to do, it felt like PSG decided to go on preseason in the game. That's how it felt like. They decided to go into the preseason because they started hitting the post, killing Usman Dembele trying to score shots, goals from acute angles, which he's not supposed to make all, and some players like Caravasqueria trying to they were dragging the balls rather than to release to the players that they could see that were free. A lot of things was happening in this game because PSG discovered that the game was over before it even began. And to even make this matter even more embarrassing, they were like, okay, why can't we do this? Let us take out the best team, some of our best players for the final because there's no necessity of us continuing playing this game. So taking out our players, we're gonna put our team B, and we are gonna hope that you try to challenge the team B. Then the team B came in, they scored a goal. So I would say PSG's team B won 1-0 against Real Madrid's team. The embarrassment in this game is so huge to a point that you cannot even point it on one person. It's a really painful to that you cannot even point it on one person. Because I know some people are gonna come out and say, okay, oh, so we lost because we did not have Dean Hoyson. Or some people are gonna come out and say, oh, we lost because we did not have Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I'll be like, hey, seriously, let us all be honest. We watched this game from the beginning to the end. It never looked like Real Madrid were ever going to do something. Yes, the game did not start well, a mistake from a player. That's what led to the first goal. But even if we don't even talk about that mistake from the defender, before that, Thibaut Courtois had put out a world-class save to keep this PSG team in the game. So you can never look at it and say, okay, it was a mistake of the goalkeeper. Goals were coming. And at some point, because I was laughing watching the boy this game with the Real Madrid fan, and I was like, why does it feel like your backline are ball watching while the boys at the 18 area? It's like they came to cheer on and just watch Usman Dembele, Desiree Doué, or maybe what's his name, Fabian Ruiz, just doing whatever they wanna do in your 18 area. The only player who felt like was serious in the game was Thibaut Courtois because he was the only one who was getting frustrated by what he was seeing. The whole entire team of Real Madrid were literally confused how to stop this PSG team. And I'm telling you, there is a reason why I feel like this is the best team we have right now in the world. The way this team complement each other from backwards to forward, the way they're able. I remember doing an analysis of this game after we played them Liverpool, and I remember telling the world that what makes this team dangerous is the fact that they're able to make sure that one of the either the right back or the left back can just rush and go become one of the attacking forward, while the midfield just remains compressed and creating spaces so that they're able to defend whenever they hit on the counter. Then at the backwards there will be a back three. It's difficult to break down a back three, especially when you're trying to defend on a front four. There Luis Enrique, what he's doing, I feel like he's really going against the laws of physics. This guy is saying, okay, I know that I'm good. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do something that people are not expecting. I'm literally gonna say we start as a 4-3-3, but in attack it becomes a 3-3-4. And in that 3-3-4, the movement of the strikers, when you think you understand who the number nine is, there is literally no number nine because it is a false nine. A false nine, it means that the defenders don't know who to pick out. Who do we pick up as the focal point which PSG are going to drop the ball is? Can that be Dembele? Dembele can drop in and become a midfield and allow players like Fabian Ruiz to go, or maybe Mendy. Mendy goes there with Kvaratskhelia. Then also on the other side, you watch what's his name? You watch Akimi and Due on the other side. So there are already four there. And I'm talking Dembele's dropped in the midfield, and one of the midfield drops in the middle of the back line, and it remains a back three. And you look up forward, you literally don't know how do I stop this defender with that amount of space, with this guy with that amount of skill, with this guy in the middle where it looks like there's a vacuum, but there are so many players in either Fabian, in either Ruben, Navas, the kid. It's just impossible to deal with this team called PSG because they are making football so irritatingly boring, yet at the same time exciting because that's what we want to see with football. It Football had become so boring that there were too many controllers who were running this game. Too many controllers who wants to see everything moving to that, turning players into the robots. The likes of Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta love to control the game, and if they keep winning, they think that that's the best way to play. But the way Luis Enrique is able to allow this team to free flow, freestyle in the game, while at the same time maintaining the base cause of keeping and protecting the backline, it's out of this world. That's what makes this PSG so exciting. And on the other side, you have a Real Madrid that are still trying to discover exactly who's actually gonna go to attack the ball whenever they don't have the ball. Because the only way that team is so exciting is when they have the ball. Give Kylian Mbappe, Vini Jr. the ball, they will turn the whole world upside down. They will make everything shine. But if they don't have the ball, what do you expect from forwards when the ball is not in your legs? You expect them to go attack. You expect them to go press and do something. Then people on the other side, they are literally freestyling in this game. They are not going to do that. And when you don't do that, what does that do? It allows the other team to have advantage in moving inside you and passing you like you're standing. And on top of that, Trent Alexander-Arnold was not in this game, which meant that Valverde was moving on the right back. And in Valverde moving on the right back, you're losing his energy in the midfield, even though he was expected to invert and try to help. Losing him in the midfield, his energy in the midfield just exposed. Today, I saw another Gula who looked like he was just there for the fact that he was in the team, but there was nothing like that. So maybe we need to talk about him. I know there's this so weird fantasy of excitement that we need destroyers, but sometimes football is moving away from destroyers. We need controllers, ball movers, ball transformers, the guys who know how to release the balls, the Tony Cruz type of a player who can put the ball where you want it, can help in building up with the passes. Look at what on the other time, what Vatina was doing on the other side. That is the kind of a player you need, and that's all that Real Madrid don't have. And on top of that, they didn't have a Dean Huijsen, somebody who's actually level-headed in controlling the ball. They had Rudiger, somebody who we know that there's too much smoke. There's just too much smoke in his attack. Venom. There's no more control as a defender. There's no any way of calming down and controlling the movement of the game and whatever that is happening. There isn't something like that in Rudiger. But you know what? And you know what doesn't even help? You have a guy in Asensio on the other side who thinks that is Ramos, but Ramos could play in a harsh and can be aggressive. But one thing that made Ramos one of the best centre back I'm saying was what makes him he still win the game. What makes him one of the best center back in the world is how disciplined he is when he has to be counted, how tenacious he is in working. This guy, sometimes you just feel that there's just too much anger in him, and you have no idea where he's releasing that anger to. What is he doing with that anger? It is just impossible to accept. So combining those two teams and expecting the other team to produce anything is like asking some people to turn water into wine. And the only person who did that is Jesus. And he rose again and is in heaven. The rest of the guys in this world, they can't do that. And really, to be honest, Javi Alonso, I know this is an exciting project, a dream project for you. You're still a new manager trying to build something. Until Real Madrid changes, or maybe the players actually think about attacking, because I remember that famous video of Luis Enrique trying to tell Kylian Mbappe that you can be the best player in the world, but if you cannot press when you don't have the ball, then you are literally gonna offer nothing. You cannot be that what's his name, LeBron James or whatever you wanna be. It is still gonna be the same thing, and that's the same thing with Vini. In a team can only be balanced if you have one of those players in the game when you allow them to just express themselves, but at the same time having other people to cover for him when he's not there. But imagine now this Real Madrid team. They have it in Vini, they have it in Mbappe. On top of those two players, they have it in Trent Alexander-Arnold. So there's so many weaknesses in this team, and you expect one player who can run because he has energy involved to cover for all of them. I'll be there to watch that. It's gonna be exciting. It'll be the best movie ever created. But you can see how much this is exposing the team. You can see how, when I'm talking about this, it's literally me freestyling. I'm not even putting anything. I'm literally telling you what is already there, what you expect to see, what you are used to seeing, what is always happening. And it's all clear right there. And it's happening like this. And you wonder, exactly where is this game going? Not answer that question. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. What do you think is going to happen with this Real Madrid team? And who do you think is going to win the final between PSG or Chelsea? Because I'm telling you, this PSG team is being on fire. Beaten Liverpool, beaten Arsenal, beaten City, beaten Barcelona, now beaten Real Madrid. Chelsea's next. Exciting times. Club World Cup is coming to an end. People, like the video, subscribe to connect. Let me know where you're watching us from and what you thought of the Club World Cup. We are out. Peace. Subscribe to the Connect.